Okay, so just a little talk about fin systems. When we use the word fin system, we really mean how the fins attach to the bottom of the surfboard. And right now, there are, let's say, 4 main fin systems, and they're proprietary brands. FCS, which have the 2 little holes. Futures, which have the 1 long slot with the 1 screw in the front. And then there's glass-ons, which we talked about with the fishes. And then there is what is called a Bahne Box, B-A-H-N-E. And that's the big single fin slot that you see on longboards or single fin surfboards when it's a removable fin, because you could also easily have a glass-on single fin. And then if you have what is called a 2+1, which is a single fin either glassed on or a Bahne Box. And it could be Bahne, it could be Bahne, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. If it is a 2+1, it means it has 2 systems for putting smaller side fins or side bites. And those can be either FCS or future systems, or they could be glass-on too. You could easily have 2 glass-on tiny small fins and 1 glass-on big fin for a 2+1 as well. There have been other fin system companies that have come and gone, but FCS and futures and the Bahne boxes have stood the test of time. So that's systems. How do you pick which, like if you're a beginner and you're trying to pick whether you need a glass-on, a futures, or an FCS, I mean, that stuff, if you're going to travel a lot, you want a fin system that's removable. So if you're getting a 2+1, you want a Bahne box with either futures or FCS. How do you decide between futures and FCS? You can ask your shaper. There's actually you're not going to experience a significant difference in the 2 systems. If you're buying a used board and it comes with FCS, like that's what it is. Or you're buying it off the rack, then you just get the side bites for the FCS system. One of the fin companies I really like is True Ames. I've talked about them before because they have a catalog of so many different shapers' fin templates that you can order as glass-ons to send to your shaper, or you can order them and they have like boxes to tick for whether you want that fin as FCS or futures or glass-ons. So that's cool. They don't do any of the putting the fins in the boards for you, but they have a huge catalog. They have fiberglass fins and hex core foam fins, and I've discussed that a little bit, like what's the difference of like when we were talking about the fish and the wooden glass-on fins and this fish behind me, what the flex pattern is of the different materials fins are made of. And actually, interestingly, we were watching the Margaret River Pro last night, and they asked this very same question to Al Merrick's son, Britt Merrick, who does the majority of shaping for Channel Islands. And he said something interesting was that a lot of surfers, this goes into the conversation we also had about PU versus epoxy. And the reason why most surfers, which I think Britt Merrick would echo, good surfers, like epoxy has a place and a time. A lot of people